Hi, everybody. You're all a bunch of strangers. I put a book together a couple weeks ago. It's a chapbook. It's got 41 poems. It's called 5 is greater than the square root of 24, which is mathematically correct because the square root of 24 is 4.83 something. But these are 41 poems I wrote in the first 5 months of 2024. So January, February, March, April, May. I wrote this. This book is composed of poems I wrote during those months. All right, so I'm going to read one. It's 41 poems divided into 7 sections, which is approximately 5.98 poems. But I'm going to read a poem from each section of the book. All right. So if you come here often enough, you will probably hear the entire book. But if you want to buy a copy of the book, I am selling them. I printed, this is the second printing I have. They're $5 each. So if you like my words, buy one.
$5, folks, a big book of poetry.
If everyone here buys one, I'll run out of books. All right. So the first section is called Seasonal. So it's all about the weather, and I wrote it during the winter and early spring. So this poem is from the section of the book called Seasonal. It's called All of Us Nothing Without Something. All of us, nothing without something. Of course they did. Wind filled with air still hums past outside. It whistles across the roof and shakes the branches. The storm has passed, but its effects still move us, move the world. I didn't choose this. Today, I will try earlier to achieve what yesterday took longer than necessary. Life fails to go straight. It is a curl eater, because of love, not hate. The sound of wind outside still grates empty air across surfaces hidden from me by blinds and walls. The view, but not the noise, are hidden behind. What if all of us are backward? All of us, nothing without something. Thank you. All right. So the section of the poem, or the second section of the book is called Together. These are all poems about like multiple people in one space. So this is my poem from the section Together. It's called Background. So this is about people living their lives together. Background. Tool plays in the background as I find these words within my own mind. Distracted from myself, I dig them up before they fall away, before they bury themselves. Are we ever really just in the background? I know the situation before it happens, not the details. I'm not psychic, nor do I wish to be. Just intuitive. I have decided a place. That is all I know. Others know more. Having visited before, first times will be a part of this experience. We could fight this fight together. We are both on the same side. So it seems, at least from my side, across the table, I'm not able to see all the things. I'm not omniscient, nor do I wish to be. Though most things don't pass me by unnoticed. Intuitive. We are still unique, every one of us. Background. Thank you. Am I reading too fast? Okay. So the third section of poems is called Apart. So this is about people who are usually together, but they're apart in this moment. So this is about people being separated by something. So this one's called Apart, or this is from the section Apart, and it's called Confessional in Tears. So this is probably the closest I get to religious. Confessional in Tears. The world is numb to everything. The world stays numb in all ways. But you can feel tears as they fall, slowly dripping down from where they come. It's not just the glands that leak, it is from the soul as well. Your eyes close as confession. The Catholic sins stay with you, always with you, caught in your throat, choking you, and the tears escape as they fall, slowly dripping. Your eyes open again, confessing sins. It is more than the sensation of the tears caressing cheeks. The sensation runs much deeper, piercing your soul, pulling everything two ways, It twists as it pulls, fracturing you from inside. Blind yourself to your own sins. Don't confess to yourself yet. You run down yourself, bleeding tears, clear of color, drenching in sin, a pulsating numbness of all, confessional in tears. Thanks. All right. So the fourth section of that book is called Light. So these are all poems that have to do with light in some way, light and darkness, usually something I read about. So this poem is called Selfies in the Dark. I wrote this for a friend, her name's Becky. Selfies in the Dark is about a time we ran together on a track in Portland, Connecticut. So I wrote this about that time. Selfies in the dark. Just two of us this time, as we ran and walked in circles again, faster than before, but not fast, together. The setting sun looks beautiful, echoing the sunrise past, in reds and oranges, talking the whole time, two ways, as the darkness ate the light away. We stopped just in time. Selfies in the dark. Thanks. All right, so the next section of the book is called Words. So these are poems that have words in them. Weird. But they're actually about the words that there are. So this next poem is called Curious, and this is from the section about words. And it involves a little wordplay in my mind, like I was trying to do something with it, so I want to see how this works out loud. Curious. I'm curious, again, about which words will pour out, this time, from within me. This time, it really is, dancing in the dark. But that was used twice before. Once that you saw, one I kept to myself, about the past. I questioned if it happened at all, but it did. If I was ever there. Curious. Thanks. All right, a couple more. So this next one is from the section called Time. So time is a common theme for me to write about. I think about the past, I think about the future. I'm not a Buddhist. But this poem is from the section of Time. It's called Jokes and Meanings, which probably doesn't make much sense. But this poem is about time in some way. And it's called Jokes and Meanings. Implications mean nothing, like the seeds of time. There is no joke that would imply innocence over all the guilt that weighs against time. Time isn't born, it stands eternal, without implying the past or future, always changing with each click. We bring ourselves down long enough to rise back, never implying innocent, but begging instead for mercy. Even when the hands lie broken below the numbers, they still count. Pleading for innocence, in motion, forward, or the pull back. Say it if you mean it. Jokes and meanings. Thanks. All right, the last one is from the last section of the book. That section is called Bodies. This poem is the most Valentine's-y of all the poems I read. So it's from the section Bodies, and the name of this poem is Would Be Unlikely. All right? So this is my Valentine's poem. Would be unlikely. If we were together, both naked with best intentions, how would you act in the present? Would you view me as you always have done, or would it be different? Would you like the way I would be looking at you, longing to move more than you? Would you turn away? Would you try to enjoy us together? Where would you be then? Would be unlikely. Thanks.